Assalamu alaikum everyone, and today we are going to look at the workflow of a painter from the eyes of a photographer. We do this to basically improve our POV as photographers and learn from the painters. If you think of a painter, the workflow that they go through, let's just say there is a beautiful cityscape. I want you to imagine whatever your favorite place is. There is a bakery or there is a flower shop, and a painter is standing there with his entire canvas, with his watercolors or sketch pens, and he's drawing something. What are the intentions going in his mind while making that? The first thing, intentions. When a painter thinks of making something, they look at artistry, why they want to do it. They study it like anything. When they develop a feel that I want to make this artwork because it holds a particular importance for me, then they proceed with it. Now they already are coming from a very well-informed background where they have studied different artists, thought about different ideas, they know what strokes are going to be there, and their intention is very clear. Now with pro photographers, this is the same thing that they apply. Where they research, a net geo photographer, as much time that they spend in the field, they spend researching. Why are they doing the story? What is the intention of the story? What is the theme behind the story? And what is the time that they will arrive at? What gauge they will carry? They are very well planned. Okay, and this comes with intention. You have a story to tell now. When you go and you know what you are going to take, even if you don't get correct compositions, at least you know the story in your mind what you're going to make. And that helps you accept the reality. Now, because we are not painters, we do not get to control the color or get to control the movement of people or get to control the kind of scene that will be there. If it is a controlled situation, we can do that. But in an uncontrolled situation like street photography, it is very hard to do that. Very hard to even compose sometimes. But when you have accepted the elements that are going to be there, now you are very well prepared and you know this is going to happen. You have done your homework. And when you get on the field, now everything new that you find, everything amazing that catches your eye gets attention first. Okay. Now you prioritize something that is going to be unique in your photo, and maybe you will be able to arrive at that decisive moment. You have studied the thing already. When you go with that flow, it creates a kind of competitive edge that you feel inside yourself when you work on the process, and that gives you happiness. Even if it is not for competition, being much educated about the situation gives you a lot of benefits that you wouldn't have where, spontaneity might not have occurred. With that, the second point is staying in the field. If you ever have seen a photographer, they'll move around, they'll click, click, click and go. At least the amateurs like us, not the pro ones, they do stay like the painters. If you ever see a painter drawing, they will set their whole canvas in a particular place and they'll spend 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour at a particular location. What if we do that? What would happen? You start looking at color better. You realize that light is coming from this part and this part is darker. There is this kind of, a triangle there called Rembrandt, which is again derived from the painter. And you notice light, you notice shadow, you notice highlights, you notice how it is affecting the colors. And one important thing in painting is called expressions, where they capture the body language of a person, of the subject, or the smile in somebody's eyes. Now, similar to this, we have a saying in photography that goes, if you stay there for a good time with the camera on certain person, they will reply or they will react in ways that you haven't thought before. Okay? You have to stay. You have to stay at a particular thing, at a particular location, playing with the angles, experimenting, thinking how in different ways can you capture the story. When you stay, it gives you a kind of place that you can call your own. The atmosphere becomes yours. People vibe with you. People feel free to approach you. And maybe you don't know what stories you can make with them. You know, you can ask someone to pose for you, and then you can frame their face in one third of the frame where you're really closed in. And then you click the background. A thing that you wouldn't have been able to do on the move. So this will help you a lot. Stay at a particular place. And if you are afraid about gathering attention, because when you move around with the camera, people ask you questions like, which news channel are you with? What are you going to use the photo for? What is this thing for? Are you with some YouTube channel? You will find people of both the classes, the one who support you and the one who will nag you. Okay. In the nagging situation, please move. Okay, don't risk it. But in a supportive situation, think about the painter. He is already set up with his canvas. He cannot move. If he has to move, he has to take the entire thing and go. You already only have a camera. Okay. And when you do that, the stories that you will make that day with socializing, with staying the course with people will be amazing. One more thing, please support the channel, like, subscribe, share. But more importantly, if you are a photographer and this helped you, can you please share it in your WhatsApp group of photographers? Because that will help them also, and me also, and you also. Okay, it's a win-win. Third point. The third point is about now techniques. When you look at a painting, what comes to mind when you think of a painting? Serene, very expressive, capturing the art, kind of, blasting through the canvas, maybe. Or so serene that you actually want to go and live in the canvas if you have seen Bob Ross's paintings. When you want to do that, now you try and experiment with your camera settings. Maybe you play with the shutter speed. Maybe you play with light painting. Maybe you play with double exposure, bokeh. You try to keep your camera at a particular angle and shoot. This is the time to not take photos that are ordinary, not from the eye level, from somewhere else, okay? From waist level, from up above, or your hand, from a different person's POV, anything else. But when you do that, you invite so much story in your camera that when the viewer looks at it, they'll think, okay, this person has done some work. So those are the three things. I hope that improves your photography, and I teach the same thing. So if you want to learn, please let me know. Thank you so much.